Do you want to hear the number one way that you can get into journaling? Well, guess what? We've got it coming up for you. Stay tuned for our video where we're going to give you 5 tips to help you get into the habit of journaling, leading up to the most important tip, how to actually make this a habit. I'm Heather Kerwin. We are Habit Maker Mama, delivering you a better way to start your day through joyful habit building. As a busy mom, it's really hard to find time for yourself. You're going between, doctor's appointments and scrambling to get everyone food and picking up toys. The list of tasks is endless. It's so hard to find time for yourself. So it's crucial that you carve out and make this time. You have to schedule in self-care like you would any other appointment. Put it on your list. It is for you. You deserve to have this time, so don't skip out on it. When you're starting out with a habit, you really need to figure out why the heck you even care about this habit. So you need to set a goal, because it has to be a goal-directed behavior for it to become a habit. And part of that is really figuring out why you care about the habit and what you would really want your identity to look like if you took on this habit. So let's break it down with journaling. If you were to pick up a journaling habit and really become good at it, what would you become? Would you be a more calm, centered person? What type of person, in your opinion, journals, and why would you like to mimic them? Really crucial with habit making is the identity factor. Why do you care about the habit and the identity that goes along with that habit? So think about that as you're starting to create this idea that you want to journal. Why do you care about it? What's your main goal of becoming this identity? You might be trying to start with things a little bit too big. Have you ever said, okay, today I'm gonna wake up in the morning at 5 a.m., I'm gonna brush my teeth, I'm gonna jump into my journal, I'm gonna work out. You try to do too much all at once and you're trying to start too big. You need to really start with things at a lot more of on a small scale. So think about it like this. You just want to do 1 sentence of journaling or just 1 minute of journaling. Start with practicing that same routine of the journaling over and over again in a small snippet to then get bigger and better at it, okay? So don't try and do all the things all at once or make this I'm going to write 10 pages of journaling or I'm going to write for an hour. You're going to work up to that if you decide that this is a habit that you like. But the first part is just setting that routine in place. So the whole point of starting small is so that we can really start to determine whether this is a habit that you feel brings you some value and that you want to keep. Once you become really good at this habit, you can either say, well, I love it and I want to get better at it, or I'm not quite finding that this is bringing me what I hoped it would. Remember how in the tip before we talked about finding an identity? You have to make sure that this habit actually gets you closer to that identity that you want. So if your goal was to become a more calm and centered person, calm-centered mom at the end of all of this, well, make sure that this habit is doing that. Make sure that this is actually a keystone habit that's saying, I am really calm, and now I'm going to start my day feeling amazing. I want to know if you really think that you can become better at journaling. A lot of times it's easy to talk yourself out of something before you really even get going. You find yourself saying, I'm not a journaler, or I'm not a morning person, all of those things. Well, if you talk yourself out of it, it means that you don't really believe in yourself. And I believe that you can become better at a habit, that you can just put a little bit of effort into doing something and have quite a big return on your investment of energy. So start by just saying, okay, I can try it. I can think about becoming a journaler. I can spend 1 minute a day journaling. It really isn't that difficult, and I think you can do it. So this starts with believing in yourself. Another facet of that, because I do know that sometimes it can be hard to get yourself out of that, let's call it negative self-talk. You need a little encouragement. You need some people cheering you on and saying, hey, look what I'm doing over here. I just started with a minute of journaling. Or, hey, I have 10 kids, but I can find a minute to journal. Okay, maybe that's a little bit extreme, but there are people with 10 kids out there. But still, it really comes with having a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of support. And you can find that in our Habit Maker Mama community. We love to cheer each other on and to say, hey, you're doing awesome. You started with 0 minutes and now you're doing just 1 minute of your habit, and that's incredible. You should be really proud of that. I love cheering people on, and I really want to cheer you on because I think that your life could be a lot better if you just believed in yourself. I know it's easy to find quite a few excuses for why you can't do something or why something might feel hard. Journaling really isn't that difficult and has really improved my day in just staying consistent at doing something at the start of my day. When I decided that I needed to just do something for myself at the beginning of the day, I have grown as a person in so many other facets just because I've taken a few minutes in my morning to start and do something that's important to me. I have 2 young kids and my husband is a pilot who is constantly traveling for work. I could have found a million excuses for why I wasn't going to try and do this, but when I really sat down and said, I can just spend a few minutes at the start of my day doing something for me, I really felt empowered by that, and I have continued to adopt that mindset of I can do something, I can carve out some time for me, and I can start my day feeling really good. So I really want to encourage you to think about it from that perspective, that this is something for you that could really grow exponentially into so many different areas of your life if you're just willing to try to start with something at the start of your day that puts you in the right frame of mind. You can become a better mom, you can become a better friend, a better wife, whatever it is that you are aiming to do. You have a possibility to really gain a lot of ground by just starting with something small at the start of your day. If you think about it, anybody can do this. All you need is a pen, a journal, and 1 minute of your time to do this. And truly getting up just 1 minute earlier, it's not that hard. I just wanted to show you truly what's in my journal because I think we often see these really fancy bullet journals or these beautiful colorings and we think, oh man, if I'm in a journal, I have to make this look so amazing and I have to draw these fancy pictures. Are the pictures beautiful? Yes, but do I do them? No, I don't have time for that. I just have 1 minute of my morning to do this. So for me, I just have a few sentences on each day that I've done it. It's really nothing fancy, but I've stayed consistent. I have a checklist habit tracker of the days that I've done it, and in the past 30 days, I've only missed 2 days. So I really think, and I traveled also quite a bit during this last 30 days. So for me, it was really important to just say, I'm going to be really consistent at this because I want to build this chunk of time as a consistent self-care me time, okay? And I know that you can do that too, and it doesn't take that much effort to carve out time for yourself because you really deserve it, and I want you to feel the effect and the benefit of really going after something and staying consistent with something. I was incredibly consistent with this because I set up a habit loop. So what I did every single time, no matter if I traveled or anything else, is that every time my alarm went off, I turned it off and then I started journaling. I looked directly at the workbook that I created and I followed what my directions were for that day, wrote a few sentences down, and then I checked it off in my habit tracker. So I had a consistent cue, a routine that followed, and then a reward. And because of this, I was able to take it on the road and still have that same consistent habit loop, and it could go anywhere with me. So it was because of a habit loop that I was able to create such great consistency. Start with a specific plan for when, where, how you're going to journal. So you want to create an intentional statement that really lays out the plan for how you're going to do this. Think about it a little bit like this. I will journal at 7 a.m. as soon as my alarm goes off at the dinner table, whatever it is that you're gonna do. Here's mine. At 5 a.m. every morning, my alarm goes off. As soon as I walk over to the alarm, I press the off button. I sit down at my desk and I start to journal. I just do it for a minute or two, and then I click off in my habit tracker that I've done it. It's this very consistent loop because I've set up a plan to be this way. At first, I tried a few other things. I kind of did it sporadically in the day, or then I would try and do it after I had done some other workouts and showered, but it just wasn't becoming consistent. I had to do it as soon as the alarm went off because that was such a consistent trigger that it was always happening for me every single day, and it was easy and a calm way for me to start the morning was by just spending a few minutes sitting there before I then jumped into my workout. So start with a plan, because that really is the most important thing if you really want to be intentional about getting something done and adding a habit into your life. Also, remember, you're setting a plan for self-care. This is the time that you're taking care of you, and it's important to plan and schedule time for you. So if for some reason you choose not to do this at the start of the day, which is fine, but again, I'm trying to tell you this is going to make your day better, you still want to make sure that you plan it into your day and that you see how that's working out for you. If you're planning it and you're planning it for the end of the day and it's not happening because by the end of the day all you want to do is veg out for a few minutes, then maybe it's time to try it at the start of the day. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Along with setting up that plan is setting up yourself for success. So that means that you have created your environment with which you can journal. So if you put your journal on the desk, right where you keep your alarm, it's gonna be pretty easy for you to just transition from turning off the alarm to sitting right there. If your journal is downstairs in a whole nother area, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to journal, because then you're gonna hit off the alarm and you're probably gonna get distracted. You're gonna think, did I look at my social media yet? Did I answer those emails? And you're probably gonna forget about journaling. So make it as easy as possible with your pen and your journal right next to your cue or your whatever is going to help lead you into that plan. It's really important that you set yourself up. It will help make your life so much easier. And then I promise, as time will go on, this will help extend into other areas and other habits that you're going to try and build. This is all about getting into the habit psychology and how habit actually works, because you're learning those basics and those fundamentals by hanging around with us. Now, we have created the Habit Maker Mama subscription box truly as a way to make this so easy for you to have an amazing start to your day and to schedule in all of that self-care time. So remember what I said, make sure that you've got that journal and that pen and everything ready to go. Well, we put it all in a box for you. So here's what you can do. As soon as your box comes, just think, where am I going to put this so that every single morning I can start right with this? Well, I gave you that example of the alarm. It's probably a good idea to put it there. If you plug your alarm in across the room and then you've got your box sitting right next to the alarm, all you have to do is just turn off the alarm, open up your box, you've got your pen in there, your paper, your journal, the workbook, and then just sit for just a couple of minutes and journal. We've got it set up to make this as easy and accessible. We are making self-care and the start of your day easy and accessible, all right? You deserve it. So don't forget that, and don't forget to talk yourself up. You're amazing. Okay, so you might be wondering, what is coming in the Habit Maker Mama box? Let me let you know. Number one, you're going to get a 30-day guide that gives you step-by-step instructions on how to really make something become a habit. This is really the crucial part of where you will succeed. Don't worry, the steps are not long. So just a very quick lesson, 1 to 2 minutes a day. You just start in the morning, start at the beginning of your day. Number 2, a habit tracker. This is really what's going to keep your habit going. This is the reward for having done the habit. You get to check off that you did it, and that feels amazing. That's giving yourself that pat on the back. Number 3, a virtual community of women just like you saying, I want to be a little bit better today, and I want to take time for myself. So we're going to be cheerleading for each other, encouraging each other, and really lifting each other up as we work on our habits together. And finally, some really cool products that basically are what you're doing for your habit. So for the habit of journaling, you'll get a journal, some pens, a bookmark, some just essential items for making sure that your habit works. This way, you don't have to do any of the shopping for the stuff. It's coming right to you. So we can't wait to have you join. You can find us at habitmakermama.com. You can subscribe there, and that will get you every single thing that you need. So just go to www.habitmakermama.com. We can't wait to have you join. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.